I'll try to rush because I know I'm a little bit late. Good morning, class. Good morning, fifth graders. My name is Salas, and I am a plumber. I also happen to be Miss Stewart's brother. So that's my dog. Sorry, she'll stop in a sec. Okay. So if this turns out to be a lousy presentation, please tell her that I did a good job, so I don't get in trouble. Okay. Okay. So Beach City Plumbing is the name of my company. That's a picture of me, and that's my truck. My truck carries all of my tools, and hang on a second. Just gotta get rid of my dog. Sorry, that was unexpected. Okay, sorry. So my truck carries all my tools, all my material to the job. We take all our work to the locations that we're called upon. Okay. So what is a plumber? This is a definition I got online. One who furnishes and fits and repairs pipe and other apparatus for the conveyance of water and gas and drainage. What does that mean, really, right? Conveyance means move. So the piping and stuff that we install moves water and the sewer, and we also are able to provide gas to buildings, okay? Every building, almost every building that you see has plumbing in it. Bathrooms, kitchens, water, that kind of stuff too. So even your school has bathrooms, it's got a cafeteria, all that requires plumbing. So how did I become a plumber? How does one become a plumber? So you can take classes at a vocational school, or sometimes junior colleges offer plumbing training courses. So you can do that after you graduate from high school. And there's also, you can complete a plumbing apprenticeship program with your local unions. So the unions are the big plumbing companies that build like the schools and hospitals and hotels. So they hire a lot of people. And so they hire people that don't have a lot of experience, and they train them, they send them to classes so that they can learn how to do the work and build the plumbing portions of their projects. And then there's on-the-job training, which is what I did. So over 20 years ago, I was working for a family friend and during the summer when I was in high school doing plumbing. And then a couple of years after high school, I got a job with my brother-in-law. He hired me as his helper. He was working for a plumbing company, and then I just learned on the job. So every new job we went to, I was just the helper, getting the tools, getting the material, cutting pipe, and we just learned as we went. And so 20 years later, I'm a full-fledged plumber. I have a business and I have a license, and I move on from there. So let me give you a little insight to some plumbing history. As long as people have been coming together and living in small villages or towns or started building cities, they've needed and understood plumbing. So here's an example of some 4,000-year-old plumbing. This is some of the oldest plumbing that's been found ever. This is from India, near the Indus Valley River. And these are examples of old drainage pipes. And these kind of piping look actually very similar to some of the pipes that we use today and some of the stuff that's underneath the ground in your homes and in apartments. These are made out of clay. So fast forward about 1,000 years later, this is about 3,000 years old, and from ancient Crete, which is in part of ancient Greece. I'm sorry, teacher, is it okay if some of these, the kids guess what these are?
They can't hear you, but I can answer. Let's, because we all have a mic. What do you guys think those are? Toilets.
You got it. You nailed it. I heard them. Yeah. Those are ancient toilets. That's right. People sat down right there. You can see you can see the spots that are worn out, right? These were ancient toilets found in ancient Greece, 3,000 years old. Okay, so we're going to fast forward to about 2,000 years ago and ancient Rome. And so the Romans were some of the best ancient plumbers ever. They conquered about half the world, and they built what these are called Roman baths. They built these everywhere that they conquered, and they were able to provide hot and cold water and steam to steam rooms. So they knew the importance, and they valued the importance of plumbing, providing hot water and bathing and cleaning themselves. Part of proper hygiene is using water and being able to get rid of it on a very consistent basis and on a large scale. So they built large cities, and they knew that they had to be able to bring in water and then remove wastewater. Okay, so there's three kind of basic categories of plumbing, and I do, for the most part, 2 out of 3 of them, okay? So there's residential plumbing. That's all the plumbing that you find in your house and in apartments, kitchen, bathrooms, that kind of thing. And there's also commercial plumbing, which is a little bit bigger. So a commercial bathroom would be a bathroom that people share. Like if you go to Target and there's a bathroom that everybody uses, or at the school, those are considered commercial bathrooms. Restaurants, hotels, and hospitals, those are all commercial buildings and they require commercial plumbing. So it's all very similar, it's just done on a bigger scale. And then there's industrial plumbing, which is stuff, the piping that you will see like at factories or refineries. Factories and big machines use water, they use hot water, they use steam, they use different kinds of gases as well. All that requires plumbing and piping. I've done some of that, but most of my business revolves around residential and commercial plumbing. Okay, so residential stuff, I'm gonna give you a couple examples here, okay? So this is just a regular house. And so sometimes we build houses and build the kitchens, bathrooms. A lot of the times as well is that we have to repair stuff that gets broken or that it's old. And so this is an example. This was a house that was having drain problems. They kept having their drains clog up. And so we found where the sewer was is in between the side of the house here on the right and then this wall here on the left. So we had to dig what's called a trench to get the old piping out, and then we put our new piping in. I don't know if you guys can see my arrow, but this is all new piping that we had put in after we dug up the old stuff. And here's an example of the old stuff. Right here, those are all roots from plants and stuff too, which is funny because this area, there was no trees or really bushes in the area, but under the ground, these roots were growing, and this piping is about 35 years old. So at some point, the pipe got damaged or there was a hole created and the roots got in and they were getting in, chasing that water, and they kept growing and causing problems with the draining of the house. You're not supposed to have any kind of stuff inside, any kind of roots or debris inside of your sewage like that. Okay, so this is some residential plumbing. This was a small house that had a little bit of a fire. I don't know if you can see some of that damaged wood right here. So someone came in, removed all the walls and everything and the floor, and then for the plumbing portion of this repair, we put in a new bathtub, and then these walls, we replaced some of the piping here, this valve. So this is a similar project here, but this was just a little bit of a remodel where we cut out all the tile that was around this tub. We pulled the old tub out, cleaned everything up, and then we set in a new tub with a new valve on the wall there. And then someone else, a different trade, comes in and fixes the wall, fixes the tile to finish that bathroom. Water heaters are something that we use every day when you take showers or baths or wash your hands with hot water. You have a water heater in your homes. This is a tank style water heater. There's a big tank in here. And then underneath here, there's like a big burner, like the one you use on your stove. And so this is a gas burner, and it heats up the tank of hot water inside here to provide, this is about a 40-gallon tank. It provides hot water for your showers and your baths. This is a style of water heater that's been around for a good 80 years. This is a little bit more of a modern version of a water heater. This is called tankless. There's no tank here. The piping, the cold water goes in. It goes through some piping inside here, and then there's a burner inside there. So by the time the water comes out through this pipe right there, it's already hot, and it just kind of provides endless hot water instead of having to wait for the water to get warmed up in a tank here. This is more modern. It's been around for about 10, 15 years or so, and this is what you're going to be seeing in newer houses. It's more efficient, more modern. Okay, so that was residential stuff. I'm just kind of low on time, so I'm kind of going quickly. This is commercial plumbing here. And so the first phase of a commercial job when we build a bathroom is we do the underground work. So we dig up the ground, we put all our pipes in the ground here. And I want you guys to remember these little blue rings here. These are actually going to end up where we put our toilets later on. Okay, so this is all the piping that's under the ground. The water gets flushed out here and runs down these pipes. Here's where all the dirt's been put back. And another company is going to come in and fix all the concrete so that then the walls can be built. So here is that same bathroom. This is just the other side of that bathroom. All the walls have been built here by somebody else, another trade, the framers. And then we come in and we put our plumbing inside those walls. So this side of the bathroom is where all the sinks are going to go. So these pipes come out of the ground that we've connected to the sewer. These are vents that go up, and then all these copper lines here, these are the water lines. Some are cold, some are hot, providing hot and cold water to these sinks. One sink will go here, one there, one there. There's another one over here. There's like 5 sinks on this wall here. This is a commercial bathroom. So after we're done with that, someone else comes in and fixes all the walls. They put the drywall up, they paint, they put the tile in, and then we come back in. Remember those blue rings that we saw 2 pictures ago? Those are these rings right here. That's where we mount our new toilets to right here. These are all brand new toilets that we install here. So those are the 3 phases. There's underground, the rough plumbing, which is everything that goes inside the walls, and then what we call set and finish, where we set all the fixtures, the faucets and the toilets to finish the job. We're gonna have time for questions a little later. I'm gonna just keep moving on, okay? So when we deal commercial projects like this, we have plans or drawings that tell us where to put everything. So the electricians know where to put all their lights and switches, the framers know where to put their walls, and then we know where to put all our toilets and urinals and sinks. I'm gonna show this video in a second. I'm gonna keep talking while I show this video, okay?
So since I'm waiting for the inspector,
I have to silence that. So you can see some strings up right here, right? You can see those strings. That's actually this gray line on the plans right here. Those are where the walls are gonna go. So we get with the framers, they tell us where the walls are gonna be, and then we mark. And since the dirt is there, I can't mark the ground. So I use these strings to show me where the walls are gonna be. So I know exactly where to put all my piping, exactly where all the toilets are gonna go. And so that we're all on the same page. When they put the concrete back, I can't move anything. So all these pipes are full of water. I'm pushing on this, it's like a balloon on there, show that they're all full of water. We're testing all that so that there's no leaks. All of our work gets inspected by the city that we're working in to make sure that we put everything in correctly, that there's no leaks, and that they're ensuring that it's all done right. And so that was me preparing for inspection. So we passed inspection. Hold on, let me move to the next page. Now all the dirt is put back here. And then this is another company that's putting plastic down. They're gonna repair the concrete. And then later on, we're gonna go back and put everything in the walls like we need to. Okay, I'm gonna try to go a little faster here. This is the commercial repairs. This was a 10-story building where some of the drain pipe was cracked. And so we're getting rid of old cracked pipe here. That's just me showing you that we do get to have a lot of fun on the job that we're doing. It's really fun working with big tools, big pipes like this. Let me move on to the next one here. Okay, so teacher, I know that they don't have their own mics, but I can hear them if they want to shout out. I want them to guess what some of these tools are, okay? Does anybody want to guess what this is? Nobody? That's okay. This is called a core drill. So this is what I use to drill holes in concrete or a brick wall. Sometimes we have to put our pipes through walls or through concrete, and we're able to drill holes. I can drill a hole the size of an orange, or I can drill holes the size of a basketball. So I can put pipes through the holes that we create in brick or concrete. Here we have what's called a jackhammer. So sometimes we have to, for new piping or new plumbing or repairs, we have to break up the concrete, and we use this jackhammer. It's loud and noisy and heavy, but it's really fun to use. This is what's called a generator. And so sometimes we work on jobs where there's no electricity yet in the building or we're outside. And so this runs a motor and it generates electricity. That way we can plug in all of our tools right here on the side there. This is what's called a concrete saw. So I can use to cut the concrete before I jackhammer it. And so this is a big saw blade that spins. And on the tips of these blades are little pieces of diamonds. Diamonds are super strong. And so they're able to cut through the concrete so I can make a clean cut before we jackhammer it out. And this is an air compressor. This has an electric motor that fills this tank full of super strong compressed air so that we use this to fill up our piping so that we can test it for leaks. So we'll fill up our pipes to like 100 pounds of pressure to make sure that it's not gonna leak once the water goes into it. Okay, so I'm gonna show this video. This is my team. This is the company I work for. We're a small family business. I'll see if you guys can, this will just take 2 minutes and we'll conclude the presentation. Those are my workers. Those are our 2 vehicles. All right. Well,
That was Chips.
that was the Chip soundtrack. Yes, I doubt it gets no. So I just want to finish up here. I would say the plumbing business and the plumbing trade has been very good to me. It was a job that I just took just to make money, but I just kept doing it, and I learned more and more. And I was able to start my own business about 14 years ago. I feel like I'm blessed to know this trade, to be able to work with my hands and to provide a service that people want to pay me to do. I feel like it's a great job. It wasn't always great at the beginning, to be honest with you, but every day is different and it's challenging and it's satisfying. At the end of the day, I know when I'm done, I've repaired something or I've built something that works. I take a lot of pride in the craft that we do, and so when at the end of the day, I know I did a good job. It's very satisfying to go home, and it's very important to me that I get to help people as well. People call me when they have leaks in their house or a plumbing problem, or they want to do a remodel or repair, and I get to help them with that. And I feel very honored and blessed to do so. So I think we got time for a couple questions, but that's the end of what I have for our presentation. And I can stop presenting. There we go.
So just give me a second, since my mic is the only one working. They're going to walk up to me and give it to me, and I'll relay it to you. Okay, hold on one second.
Wonderful.
Have you ever had any not so happy experiences with some customers?
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't happen too often. A lot of the times, customers will get mad for their plumbing breaking, but not really when they call me to have them come fix it. Yeah, I mean, when you're in the service business, when you're dealing with people, you're going to have some people that aren't happy, but I do my best to leave all my customers happy and satisfied with the work we do.
What was the most challenging job you've had so far?
I've had a lot of challenging jobs over the years. Some of the ones where we have to work at night have been the worst because the stores are not open if we need something. So we had to shut down the water for a hospital once and repair a really large pipe, and it was really difficult. And we got soaking wet. We only had a limited time where we had to get the water back on. It was actually really stressful. So the jobs that become stressful are the stuff that I don't like. You would think that having to deal with poop water and that kind of stuff too would be the worst part of it, but it's really not. It's the stress that comes from shutting off the water to big buildings, hospitals or schools, and having to get it back on and having to complete the job. Those are the difficult things sometimes.
On average, what would be like an annual salary for someone that does your job?
Okay, so that's a pretty good question. So I guess starting out, a helper can make maybe $35,000 to $45,000 a year. So I don't know, $700 or $800 a week, something like that. Of course, there's taxes that take some of that as well. I charge $125 an hour for wherever we go, but that's not the money that I take home. I have to pay for gas and for insurance, and I have to pay my employees as well. And so it depends on how many employees you have as a business owner. But a plumber themselves, they get paid usually by the hour. So a helper can make maybe about 15 to 20 bucks an hour, and then a full-fledged plumber can make $30 to $40 per hour.
What inspired you or led you to become a plumber?
I became a plumber just to get a job at first, just because I wanted money, and it paid pretty well. When I started, I was making about $9 an hour. That was about 20 years ago, though. But that was actually decent money, when minimum wage was about $5. And so I just did it for the job. But as I learned more and more, and as I got better and better at it, I find that I enjoy it very much too. So it wasn't a job that I had planned to be in forever, but it's just how I went, and I've been doing it for over 20 years.
How long did it take you to get your own business?
After about 6 or 7 years, I decided people were asking me to do just side jobs. And so I started a small business that way. And then as my clientele built up more and more, I decided to go off on my own. I have my partner, who's my brother-in-law. And then we've hired several people over the years. Right now, we're a team of 4 people. And it was just because you can generally make more money being the business owner, but it was more to have the schedule that I need to take care of my kids, to take them to school, pick them up. When you own the business, you can kind of work the schedule your way. Now that was more what I needed to do. I needed to be able to provide for my family, not only with money, but also with my time.
What are some of the advantages to being a plumber versus someone working in an office?
So I get my job takes me somewhere different almost every single day, and my work is different almost every single day. So not every bathroom is going to be the same. So I think that I get to work with my hands, and I get to build. I get to when I'm finished, I see what I've done. That I see it work. When the faucet turns on, I know that everything we did it right. And so I know when someone that works in an office, it can be good work and it'd be satisfying. They're helping people, but they don't always get to see exactly. They don't get to see their progress, I don't think, maybe in the way that I get to see it, actually physically see. You saw that we started in a dirt room. We went from the dirt to the concrete to the walls, and we get to see it when we're done. So I think being able to see our finished product is an advantage, in my opinion.
Is your job like a 9 to 5, or do you get to choose your hours, or?
I mostly get to choose my hours. But we work, my business works during regular business hours. So it's usually from about 7 to 3 or 8 to 4, something like that. My business does not do emergency service, so we're not really working on the weekends. But I'm also, since I don't just build the bathrooms or fix the bathrooms, I run the company. So I'm on my phone a lot. So that takes extra time too. So when I'm not actually on the job, I'm still working from home, making invoices, paying bills, estimates, and then scheduling my guys and myself. So like right now, I've got about 3 texts from customers that I have to answer when I'm done with this.
Well, thank you. I think that's all the questions we have, but we do appreciate you for coming and appreciate you telling us all the work you do. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome so much. Every one of you guys can be plumbers if you want. Give it a shot. Take care.